I just started to write my notes on Substack about my thoughts, the points that I want to make regarding this very dangerous issue, a national existential threat, a national security threat, a national security issue, not only in the United States, but it will be coming here in Canada and the rest of the world because it has already started spilling over some of this problem in the United Kingdom. There's a swarm of drones that has been flying with impunity, um, roving, or what's the word I'm looking for? Just hovering. There you go. Hovering in the skies of New Jersey, not at a very high up um, distance, but as low as tree level distance from the ground for about 2 3 weeks now, according to reports that many of these SUV size or small car size drones have a swarm of drones have been coming every night in many of these small towns or big city towns of New Jersey at night for about 3 weeks with impunity. I can't believe that the government cannot do anything about it. I find that very unlikely, and so there are a lot of questionable aspects about this manifestation, especially that we are in the era of disclosures. I can't believe that this is happening now, and even some of the mayors are saying they can say for sure that there's no threat. Anyways, there's no physical threat. But how come they cannot get whoever's operating, if that's a human operated drone? First of all, how are they identify that those are drones? Number one, a drone by definition is an unpiloted aircraft that is probably piloted remotely or run by artificial intelligence, probably fall as a drone if there's no biologics or any intelligent being flying it or driving it or controlling it from inside the vehicle, then it's a drone. A lot of people were saying that there's something sinister about these drones. They look like drones, but some of them they don't have any sound. Coming really close to them, there's no sound. Okay, folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
For the best price in town on your flooring, call Complete Flooring. The unique shop at home experience means samples are brought right to your door, and because we don't pay salesmen, there's no markup on our products. Complete Flooring does the installation of new hardwood floors and sands them using a dustless machine, making the sanding process cleaner. We also specialize in refinishing, staining, and custom staining of existing hardwood floors. Our Green Guard certified environmentally friendly finish is now available. Drying in a quarter of the time of regular stains means you can get back in your house sooner, and it will last longer. If you're a homeowner, general contractor, or a building or property manager, Complete Flooring services are available to you. So give us a call today.
Welcome back, Freedomizers. It was a low energy segment that we were watching earlier because I was pre recording that in the middle of the night. We tried to do some nighttime recording so that everybody is asleep, no noise, nobody is moving around in the kitchen, but it was perfectly quiet. It was perfectly quiet when I was doing the pre-recording in the middle of the night when everybody's sleeping. But I was also very sleepy, so we'll see. That's low energy, but we'll try it again one more, a couple of more nights if that is an option, because we don't have a soundproof or totally quiet set. We have a very open set that's open to like general public walkathon here. So that's where we are right now. I'd like to continue my thoughts regarding those swarm of drones that has been flying atop the skies of New Jersey this past 3 weeks. They fly, it seems that with impunity, they are nowhere to be, well, the whoever or whatever corporation or organization or entity is flying those drones is nowhere to be found and nowhere to be contacted. Nobody knows. Even the local governments do not know who are flying this swarm of drones all across the skies of New Jersey. This is concerning. It's concerning. I just want to reiterate the point I was trying to make during that segment, that the definition of a drone is unmanned vehicle. So how are they able to determine that those are drones? Were they able to shoot one down and inspect inside the vehicle that it's truly a drone and nothing is manipulating these vehicles, these aircrafts? A drone usually has recreational drones, and the drones that we know that man built. Most of the drones that are available recreation wise or even industrial grade wise are usually what we call quadcopters, or even six or seven, eight propellers. But you can hear the drone noise with those drones. With some of the eyewitness report that I have heard, that I reviewed regarding these drones, some of these drones are totally silent. They don't seem to hear any noise coming from these drones. So first and foremost, when some of the local mayors were saying they are not posing any kind of threat whatsoever, how are they able to determine that, number one? And number two, how are they able to determine that these vehicles are drones? These flying vehicles are drones. So those are the 2 points. Let's explore them even deeper on the other side of this break.
Imagine that the power grid was totally wiped by an EMP weapon of an enemy state. Your stress level will go to the roof, your patience will be tried, you will have to think about both your own and your complaining children's survival. If you don't survive, your children won't when they are left on their own. Teach your children how to have the mentality of being survivors through a fun, children-friendly guided outdoor adventures with basic survivor mindfulness integrated in the fun outing activity. Call my friends Ornell and Victoria, who are experienced survivors. Call them at 905-252-8009 or email them at northernpacificcottages@gmail.com.
All right, so those are the concerns. Number two, I think this is one of the really high concerns regarding that phenomenon or that event that's going on in New Jersey and other parts of the United States. And I heard that this is also, there are some places in the United Kingdom that this is also happening. If that phenomenon is happening in multiple places, we got to ask the question: is this a conditioning of the masses? Are they conditioning the masses to get accustomed, to get used to skies being patrolled by some entity or some force that we cannot determine who's flying those drones? And again, how would you know? How did they know that they are drones? If they already, the FBI is asking for help and the local police forces are asking for help. If they already went on public television and broadcast radio and they announced that it is a no-fly zone and they need to be identified, whoever's flying those swarm of drones, and there are no response, what is holding back the government from shooting down a couple of those drones and to investigate further and to see if they are real drones or if they are manned, quote unquote manned? We don't know if those are non-human pilots flying those drones. And what are the purpose? The local government, the FBI, and even the governors of these states where these swarm of drones are flying over, they don't even know the purpose. What are the intentions of these drones? Are they for reconnaissance? Are they for setting up some sort of a technological grid of some sort? We don't know. They simply don't know. And why don't they care to know? The ordinary Jane and Joe citizens of those cities, of those states that this phenomena is happening, they really would like to know. They know. They want to know. They have their families there. They have their little children sleeping in their beds. They want to know what these drones are for. Or is it the government themselves flying these drones again as a conditioning of for people to get conditioned and on seeing drones or surveillance systems being flown over their heads. There's a phenomenon called Gorgon stare. The Gorgon stare is similar to when the Gorgon stare principle, to explain that and give an example of that, when they park an empty police cruiser in a certain intersection because they know that this intersection has seems to have a lot of crimes, or there's a lot of traffic violators, and they put, like in communist China, they put a lot of CCTV cameras everywhere, and there are certain instances when they put fake CCTV cameras in certain corners or in certain highways, just so that to increase the tension among the citizens, that they subconsciously think that they are being watched. Is this a Gorgon stare, gaslighting? Is this a program, a government program to make people feel that they're being watched all the time? Watch all the time. We already know, a lot of us who are red pilled and awakened to the facts that the governments in, well, the New World Order, the deep state, they want to know everything about us. Meanwhile, we don't know anything about them. That is one of the aspects that is being enhanced by these swarm of drones flying over the cities. How long are they going to last? And would the government give up and say, or, well, if it's the government who's doing it and pretending that they don't know what's going on, would they eventually say, oh, we give up, we don't know what it is? Well, it doesn't pose any existential or violent threat, anyways, just let it be. Meanwhile, the Gorgon Stare phenomena, or the Gorgon Stare program, is accomplished by just letting these swarm of drones fly. So, folks, that is one of my few more thoughts about those unidentified, technically a UFO because it's unidentified. We don't know who's flying them, and we don't know how it's being flown, and we don't know where does it go back to recharge. So again, I do not know if it is safe to assume that these flying objects are actual human piloted drones. We cannot just dismiss exploring or unfencing our mind from the other possibilities. So don't go away, folks. I'll be right back.
Consider supporting the OJTV production cost and be an insider member for only $3 a month. Go to patreon.com/OJTV Canada. Thank you for your continued support.
Continuing the coverage on these mysterious drones, there's an article on the New York Post. Let's read a little bit on it and weigh in on the article. What are your thoughts? Let's have a discussion about it. All right, folks, this is a New York Post article that we are going to review today. Security experts share startling theory about who may be behind mysterious drones in New Jersey and why. The mysterious drones that have been tormenting New Jersey residents for weeks could be part of a top-secret government program, security expert told the Post Tuesday, as lawmakers push for answers over the troubling sightings. The feds have been mum about the daily drone activity in Morris, Passaic, Bergen, and Hunterdon counties and beyond since the gizmos were first spotted on November 18. But several experts said that the U.S. government might be behind the unsettling flights, which could be part of a super-secret military program meant to test new hardware before a battlefield. What do you guys think about that? Is that likely, unlikely, or these some of the footage I saw about these drones, they fly over or fly by with no sound at all. My first guess is that there are potentially government programs kept within what's known as SAPs, or special access programs, which is purposely put together to keep even the most cleared people out. It is truly to keep it secret, said Clint Emerson, a retired Navy SEAL and owner of security company Escape the Wolf. That's why the government's like, we don't know, they're being truthful, he said, adding that the circle could be as small as a dozen officials. They don't even know the program exists. Emerson said it is impossible to know what the drones might be doing, but he suspects the secret is the technology they're carrying, not the devices themselves. It could be different types of collection capabilities, so different types of cameras like high definition infrared or thermal, he said. A second payload, for instance, could be hardware that grabs all the cell phone data in given environment. How much data can we collect with this? Let's say we got 10 drones. Then fly in a grid. How much cell phone traffic can we pick up? Not actual conversations, but just the signature of millions of cell phones. What can 10 drones pick up going over an area? Folks, let me just interject here and we will continue on with the article. But just on this first part of this article, it makes me feel that this is a psyop, already a distraction away from what's more plausible reason behind these mysterious swarms of drone. Again, I have offered a theory earlier regarding Gorgon Stare. Let me just explain again what is Gorgon Stare. Let me get the article of Gorgon Stare for you. Gorgon Stare. What is a Gorgon Stare? Gorgon Stare is a video capture technology developed by the United States military. It is a spherical array of 9 cameras attached to an aerial drone. The U.S. Air Force calls it Wide Area Surveillance Sensor System. There is an actual technology called Gorgon Stare, but there is a PSYOP, a psychological warfare, also called Gorgon Stare. It's a Greek mythology called Gorgon. Let me just get it for you. Okay, Gorgon. This article is about Greek mythological monster. The Gorgon, ancient Greek in Greek mythology, are the 3 monstrous sisters, Cytheno, Euryale, and Medusa, said to be the daughters of Phorcys and Ceto. They lived near their sister, the Gregi, and were able to turn anyone who looked at them to stone. Euryale and Cytheno were immortal, but Medusa was not, and was slain by the hero Perseus. Gorgon were dead monsters with terrifying eyes. A Gorgon head was displayed on Athena's aegis, giving the power to both to protect her from any weapon and instill great fear in any enemy. Gorgon blood was said to have both the power to heal and harm. Representations of full-bodied Gorgons and Gorgon face, called a Gorgonius, were polar subjects in ancient Greek, Etruscan, and Roman iconography, while archaic Gorgons and Gorgonia are universally depicted as hideously ugly. Over time, they came to be portrayed as beautiful young women. So Gorgon Stare is a type of a psyop and it happens a lot in communist China. They will put cameras everywhere, CCTV cameras, but some of those CCTV cameras are actually fake. It's not connected, or they're just props. They're not real cameras. The idea between the Gorgon Stare psyop, sort of like a military maneuver, is to psychologically keep people on the edge, to thinking subconsciously on a 24/7 basis that the conditioning and the feeling that they're being watched constantly is a psychological warfare, also named as Gorgon Stare. When you think that you're being watched on a constant basis, it is a behavioral modification weapon or tool. So these swarm of drones that are flying over New Jersey, in my postulation, and I propose the thesis that this is a conditioning psyop or a warfare technology to make people feel that they're being watched constantly. So all of these cell phone data collection, this is already happening, and you don't need a swarm of drones to do that. From the cell towers, or even from a lot less high technological gadgets, you can actually collect all the data from all the mobile phones in a certain town without having to launch a swarm of drones overhead. This is for something else. I think this article is just a distraction from what are more plausible and more possible intentions, agenda behind these swarm of drones that are flying all over New Jersey. On the other side of the break, we are going to explore more some of these Fourth Industrial Revolution, Great Reset, World Economic type agenda that is being rolled out into our society. I'm your host, Ordinary Joe. This is Freedom Fighter Radio. Don't go away. We'll be right back.